I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything.
Ooh, wee. What's poppin', y'all, man? We back to business. Back to the regular format. Back in my studio. Back creating the vibes, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the album. I hope y'all still listening to the album. Leave in the comment section your favorite record off the album. The Blessons album. But what I played before the podcast started or whatever, Kanye West speaking on that subject, like capabilities and you being in your own brain and limiting yourself. Man, we all capable of anything. We can do anything we want to. We just choose not to. Some people be like, Trev, you still make music. You do podcasts. You work multiple jobs. You're still working out. You still do this and you still do that. I'm limitless. As an individual, as a person, I'm limitless. I'm capable of any and everything. And you are too. But on this episode, we're going to get to it, man, this time. I got a few individuals I'm going to call up. The people that contributed to the album. I'm going to call Tennion up. I'm going to call Jack Boy up. I'm going to call up T Reezy. I might even hit Maya up, man, and see what he on, man, because I appreciate everybody that contributed to the album. We're going to play some records off the album too, man, for the people who haven't heard it yet. I'm just going to highlight a few of the records that's dope and highlight the people that contributed to it and just create the vibes. But this episode ain't all about the album, though. We're going to talk about the trending topics, the things that's going on in the culture. Talk about the fight tonight, Tank Davis and Garcia, whatever his name. I don't even know the opponent's name. I'm so tanked out. And we're going to talk about, like, a few things, man, like that bill the House Republicans passed about the transgenders not being able to play in women's sports no more. That is huge to me. That's something personal to me. I'm going to get on the topic of Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? He violated Pusha T, my opinion, saying that Pusha T is not a top 50 artist. And then some things that Morgan Freeman said as of recently about how he don't like the term African American. He don't like celebrating Black History Month. That was real, some of the things that he said, man. And we got more topics, though, but we just going to create the vibes, play the tunes, get the tunes going, man, and just do our thing today, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, share the show, hit the link, donate to the Cash App. You see it if you want to see us keep elevating and creating, man, and keeping a smile on our face. But let's get to it, though.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about the album for a minute, and then I'm going to get into the first topic. But the reason this album is so important to me, Blessons, I'm going to define what that means because a lot of people will get it confused with blessings. It doesn't have nothing to do with a blessing. It's blessings. But it's so important to me because my first album came out February the 4th, 2003, Game Tight, my most successful project. Man, I sold records like the records that people doing nowadays. I sold those physical copies out the trunk and out of a mom and pop record store twice that many times. I probably sold 40,000 records off of Game Tight. Didn't get rich or nothing. At that time, you know, you give them to your partners $5, $2, $10, $20, whatever. It's just that it did well. It did numbers, and I kept getting them pressed up 1,000 a week for like a year and a half, 2 years. Keep getting them pressed up. Nowadays, you don't even have to press your music up. You can just get it mixed, mastered, and upload it to the internet, and everybody has access to it worldwide, instantly. So it's just a different time that we living in, and I'm just happy that I'm still creating at a high level 20 years since I started making music. And to me and to my constituents and the individuals who have listened to this album before it was released Friday, they told me it was my best project ever. I didn't say it, they said it. Because I like everything that I do, to be honest with you, not being egotistical or whatever, but I like everything that I do. Because I put my heart and soul into it, and it's just not words that, you know what I mean, it's temporary. I do things for, like, when I'm not here no more. I create so the message, my nephews and my loved ones can hear it and be like, Unc was real. Unc held us down. He loved us. He meant what he said. The things he said still resonate to this day with me and in my life and in my family. So the title of the album is called Blessons. Okay, so the lessons, the things that you go through, the experiences that you go through is actually the blessing. The reason I say the lessons are the blessings is because if you really take the lesson out of the mistake, the hardships, the trials, the tribulations, the turmoil, the stress, the negative things, and you take it and educate yourself with it, you'll never have to deal with it again. You'll never have to deal with it again. I learned from not just my mistakes, but from some of my partners' hardships. I can see people like go to jail. Some of my friends, just for example, I'm not being specific. I know who I speak to and I know my audience or whatever. So I'm speaking to my audience, and if y'all can relate to this, hey, use it to your advantage. But like my partners, they go to jail, they make a mistake, they hustle and they do certain things the wrong way. They let their ego lead them instead of their mind lead them. And they go to jail, they might get 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I learned from that. I seen that and I said, that's not what I want to do. So I did something else. I see relationships. I see how it weighs on a man, like trying to make somebody love him that don't love him. I see it. So when I see it, I learn from it. I see somebody that's financially struggling and it's not even them. They might be working hard every single day, but they ain't working right. They ain't working smart. So they just running around in circles instead of finding that way out so they can be able to do something different. It's just a multitude of things, man, that you can learn that can end up being your blessing in the long run. So that's what the album is based on, and that's the experiences. Some of the experiences that I'm speaking of is mentioned in the album, and it's just a dope thing, man. To me, it's a dope project, and it's like a very, very introspective project, man. You got to go check it out. But I'm gonna get into the first topic, man, of discussion, and it's a hip hop topic. You know, I always started off with hip hop. Jim Jones been making his rounds. He was on the Breakfast Club recently. He was on a couple of podcasts talking about Drake has surpassed Jay-Z, which statistically he has. He's way past Jay-Z statistically. And musically and lyrically, I don't know. But it's different tiers to things in life, man. Like we have the LeBron discussion. Is he better than Mike? Is Mike... That's the past, man. We living in the now. We got to embrace the now. LeBron is great right now. He's the greatest of this era, of this time. And the greatest of all time, man, that's starting to seem like a very weird thing, though, to me, because it's eras. And some people don't appreciate eras, and they look down upon a person because they played in a certain era. So we talking about tops and rankings and stuff. Jim Jones was on his platform and he spoke on Pusha T, and it was crazy.
He'd be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
Wow. What has he done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't get?
Wow.
All bias aside.
He's nice.
Yeah.
He's nice as he can rap his ass. He can rap his ass off. What has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody wants to be like Pusha T. No, I don't remember nothing. And let's not be evil, but we don't talk about rap where that's popping the want to be like. I don't know too many in this game that was leaning towards being like Pusha T.
50? You won't put
No, like
Big
no.
Sean before I put Big Sean before Pusha T.
Easily. But Jim Jones is on there before Pusha T.
But I'm saying you can put whoever you want ahead of him. You're saying he's not.
Cameron before Pusha T.
Easily.
Bro, you go in these clubs, I don't know no records they play in the club with or Pusha T. They don't play outside. NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
Sometimes I be disgusted with people. But listening back to that, it's top 50. It's top 50 what, though? Top 50 what? If it's top 50 styles, he said people don't want to dress like Pusha T. Then he got a point there. Pusha T might not be the flyest. Then he said when I go to the clubs, Pusha T music isn't being played. He's not being played outside. He might got a point there at the end of the day. But contribution to the culture, I put Pusha T up there, man. Pusha T is up there, all the way up there, man. It's not a lyricist, 50 lyricist that's better than Pusha T, that has better records than Pusha T. I don't even think Jay would have got on a song with an artist that he don't consider a top artist. My opinion. That's just my opinion. But Jim Jones, he be hating a little bit sometimes, man. And I rock with Jim and the Dipset. I love them boys, man. I love Cam. I love what Cam and Mace doing with the Is What It Is sports show. I love what Jim doing with the Weatherman, man. The show that he got. But is it a feud? Is it a problem? Do they got something going on to where he has a reason to diss Pusha T? Pusha T top 50. Somebody tell me why he isn't. Get in the comment section and tell me why he isn't if he isn't top 50. Real talk. But off the Blessings album, I'm going to give y'all a piece of the intro, and then I'm going to make a phone call, man. Here it is, Genesis 2:21, 23. Let's get it.
What I got to do.
Travel, well paid and well rested. Never disrespected, never come and second. Don P for breakfast, aced by the cases. Counting big faces, living in the matrix. Back to the basic, to the trap spot. 2216, where the block hot. Remember when I got arrested, them cuffs was tight. Life can change in seconds, but I was out overnight. Was a Fisher Price kid that trapped in G-Nights. Made $1 million under college chill street lights. To make sure we be alright, I would risk my life. I would risk it all. I just wanted to ball. Just me and my dogs, back-to-back coops. What up, Jack boy? Let me call a scoop. We made it out the slums, nigga, we living proof. Been the truth, real niggas salute, tryna reach the youth. Cause they innocent, this the beginning. Genesis, label menaces, flow vintage in this new era.
That's the intro to the album, man. That record, man, it give me big city vibes. Riding downtown, nighttime, and something fresh. I don't know if this is Chevy music, man. I made that for y'all when I was younger. If y'all want to hear that, y'all got to go to back in the days, man, and listen to that heavy bass. But this is more like Mercedes-Benz music. Late night, something extra clean. You extra clean. And your mind is working right, man. But I'm going to make a phone call to the first person that I really appreciate her contribution to the album. Let me make the call and see if she's available.
Hello.
How you doing today, Tennion?
I'm good. How are you doing, Trevor?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. I appreciate you having the time to converse with me, man. And I'm just thankful for your contribution to the album, man.
Of course. No, thank you for letting me contribute to it. It was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, I did it in like a few minutes, not because it wasn't thoughtful, but I felt really inspired by the song. So I appreciate you for allowing me to listen to it and draw inspiration from it and contribute to your project as a whole.
Man, I'm thankful. Like when I reached out to you and you got it back so fast, I was like, golly, she don't be procrastinating at all.
I do procrastinate, actually. It's actually something I've been working on. But if it's something that, I mean, I have passion for everything I do, but if it's something that I really am like, the artistic aspect and the creative aspect of my expression, it comes out more easily. And yeah, that's readily available on deck.
Oh man, the poetry, I put it at the end of the album. I was going to put it at the beginning, but I put it at the end because it seemed like what you were saying, you just summed up the whole album, the meaning, the definition of it in 1 minute.
Oh, that's cool. I appreciate that. I've listened to the whole album. It's really, 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 really an amazing project. It's awesome.
Man, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you feel that way about it. This is the first time that I worked on something like the way I did. I did it differently. Like when I released my last album, I just went straight into the writing process for this one the next day. And
that's awesome.
It took me like 8 months to write it, and I recorded 15 songs in 3 hours. I was so excited about it.
Yeah, that's slow. But I'm telling you that from the musical composition and the beats and tracks married with the vocalists, you have done an exceptional job identifying vocalists that match the tone and the emotion of what you're trying to convey in your verses. It's pretty phenomenal.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Where did the inspiration? Because I've been knowing you for a while, Tennion. Where did the inspiration to write poetry come from?
Well, I've been writing poetry for a long, long time. I started probably when I was like 7, and I really enjoyed, of course, the classic Maya Angelou and a array of other poets that I would read, and I think it helped kind of. I'm not always the most, I would say, effective communicator in words, but I love words. So I'm not going to go and say I'm a wordy person. I know all words, but I'm intrigued by words and vocabulary. And poetry inspired that at a young age. So in 7th grade, I started writing and was quickly invited to be published. So I've been published a few times in compilations since 7th grade. And then my freshman year, I won an award for a poem that I wrote about the passing of my father. And it's just been something that and then grew into songwriting. And when I didn't really like the attention of being like an indie artist or a performer, I like the behind the scenes. I would take poems and make them into songs, and that's it. Really, I've got a little business that I do called Pictures and Poetry that I love to always make take a photograph or paint a picture with my own poems, and I thought pour into others. And I give a lot of them away as gifts. I try to sell them, but I'm just a giver. So I try not to give away too much of that. But I do enjoy doing it. You can find it at Pictures and Poetry TR on Instagram, and I've got some of the stuff I've done. I love it.
When we get off the phone too, I want you to send me a link to that so I can put it in the description of the podcast, and anybody listening to the podcast can go check out Tennion's art because she's dope, man.
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know something, you said something that I didn't even know I was going to have this long conversation with you, like how I feel like it's about to happen, but you said something that caught my attention that my wife talks about a lot. And when I first met my wife, I talked like a regular dude from the street from Knoxville. That's how I can sum it up. And she told me that I needed to expand my vocabulary. And you said you like
That's
vocabulary
awesome.
When you...
Any fellas, listen, get you one of them, please.
Yeah.
Get you one of them who's going to put you on the game, because it's all a game and we got to learn how to play it. The first part is being able to communicate. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, that's true. But I heard you say the word vocabulary, and it made me think that creatively, me reading more and trying to speak well, but I still understand the terminology of the street. But I think that's helping me musically, expanding my vocabulary.
Of course. Look at Jay-Z. When you think of lyrics, right? That's one thing when I thought, because I felt like I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I'm one who analyzes. And I looked ahead, and I was like, man, one thing I didn't mention in my tangent about why I like vocabulary and music and how it ties in is when you think about like artists like Jay-Z or Lauryn Hill or Tupac or, even who were some earlier lyricist. The band Journey.
Andre 3000 too.
Andre 3000. I'm looking outside of genre. Even Harry Styles' new album.
Yeah.
There's something melodic to lyrics that have meaning and can conceptually put the words together in a way where it's artistic. And so that's yeah. I mean, once you have another word, it's not like I'm going down the street because I'm taking a hike. Every time I get the mic, it's like riding the bike. It just flows. You know, you can actually put together some depth where you're using words like nostalgia or, you know, things that have a breadth and meaning where you can rhyme a word that's shorter with a word that's got longer and deeper context.
That's true. And then you can add once I know I'm getting there with the vocabulary, but once I can add the feeling with the vocabulary, it's over.
Yeah. Well, I think you execute that well. I really enjoyed the message and the way that it's composed. I think you've definitely got the feeling if I were to be of any encouragement.
I appreciate that. Us talking about vocabulary and stuff, I only got one more thing to ask you, Tenny. I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
I appreciate you for your time. I know, you know what I mean? I got to appreciate your time. And what I want to ask you, I've been hearing lately that African Americans should have their own language. Like, we should have our own language. Do you think that's like necessary, or should we embrace because the English language isn't ours? Everybody else has their own specific language, and we speak differently from everybody else. Do you think we should have our own language?
You asked me a rabbit hole question that is hard when you give me the preface that we're winding up on time.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, no, I don't think that it would be advantageous. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't make sense for African Americans, and I'm putting that in air quotes, to have their own language.
Yeah.
Because we have our own essence and swagger. We have so many subcultures within our own one culture that it would be very difficult for us to execute a language that would. It's almost like Ebonics. When my father was a very educated man, when Ebonics was the thing in the 90s, he mocked it because it's like basically a separation. But here's the thing that I think is the beauty of like an urban dictionary or something of that nature, is that it does embrace the idea of culture and the diversity within the Black culture. And within the Black community, we, as some African Americans, some indigenous Americans, we don't need any more things that necessarily divide us, but I don't think necessarily having our own language would unify us, because we're all speaking English. Really quickly, when I was in middle school, I got made fun of because I speak the way that I do. And folks were literally Black kids like me, who look like me, would yell, "White girl," when I walk down the hallway, just because of how I pronunciated words. So I changed the way I spoke for like 6 months. My sister hated me. Trillia, Trillia. I'm sure I think you do.
I know all your sisters.
Okay. But she hated me. She was like, "Oh my God, Sarah, dinner, why do you have to?" That was so crazy. But I wanted to like fit in, and it was so terrible. Wow. And so for me, I always grew and really recognized. I had cousins from Chicago, Detroit, family members in Carolinas, Atlanta, and they all had my same and spoke like me. Others even more astute with how they spoke and how they carried themselves, collegiate and academic, and so I was like, why am I being made? Even I had friends, Brittany Fletcher Hernandez. She spoke like me. She didn't even get the scrutiny because I think I was just a little more, because my father was an English major and I came from, speak correct English and But it didn't change who I was as a Black woman. And I feel like that in our community, we have so many things that divide us. Coming up with something other than a language to unify us would make more sense. Yeah,
that might bring more separation instead of unifying us more, because it's just we don't need any more confusion.
This is what we need. We need more people to participate in the processes that are in place and the systems that are in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think vocabulary, language, communication are a part of those aspects. And within the Black community, we do have a different style of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a lot of ways that we are stereotyped to by our other cultures
Mm-hmm.
to be this or to be that. And it's the most offensive thing for a person of another color to change their way they're speaking to me because I'm Black and be like, hey, yo, what's up, girl? Hey, girl. You know, I had one of my kids'
Yeah.
teachers do that to me. So if there's anything that we need Black people to do is just make sure that we are learning how to play the game in this system and be a part of the process and run for a political seat or use your voice. It doesn't matter the slang that you may or may not use. It doesn't matter how you articulate yourself. It doesn't matter your expanse of or not vocabulary.
Yeah.
All that matters is that we as Black people learn how to communicate together and within the diversity of our own company so that we can progress as a people regardless of the boxes of society like language.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. And I'm very thankful for you, Tennion, man. We're going to have to link up and do a whole show one day.
Of course, I appreciate it. And thank you again for allowing me to put a little bit of my creativity on your project.
That's
sure.
what's up. I'm about to play your poem right when we hang up, and I'm very appreciative of you again, Tennion. Have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you, Trevor. Take care.
Thank you. Let me give her some hand claps. Hold up, what? I got the vibes playing in the background. Hold up. Let me give her some hand claps, though. Big salute to Tennion, man. She killed that poem on the album, man. Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Higher in my state of mind, I look back over all the times, the years and days that have gone by, the trials and tears that left me blind. But then the light, it set me free to elevate to my destiny, that every lesson that seemed to plague me was just the blessing that made me. A man of fire to light the world, a meditation, change the world. With every lesson, I found a blessing. No longer does my spirit toil. Let's come together and learn for better. For if we don't, this world will spoil. So I will shine my light forever for you and me, every boy and every girl.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
That was a dope conversation, man. Real dope conversation. I appreciate you, Tennion, if you're watching this, man. I really do. I'm thankful. I've been knowing Tennion since middle school. And she's dope, man. She's a dope individual. The album, when y'all listen to this album, it's gonna shock y'all. Y'all gonna be appreciative of the creativity, of how it's all cohesive and how it's put together with the singing, the vocalist, the mixing, the mastering, and the audio and stuff, man. And it's up there. I feel as if this is a good project. I ain't gonna say it's my best. I'm gonna let y'all be the judge. But let me get off the project for a minute, man, and talk about some of these topics, man. Some of these topics. It's playoffs, man. It's the playoffs. We got Brian and the Grizzlies tonight. Y'all know I'm from Tennessee. I'm rooting for Memphis. Man. I like Brian. I like everything he do, but I'm rooting for Memphis. I'm rooting for change in the NBA. We need it to be more competitive. We need more defenders. We need more people that's gonna not be like so cooperative with what the league got going on, being nice and friendly and just being obedient to LeBron James. Rough him up, get physical with him. And this young man, Dylan, whatever his name is, he said something about LeBron that just caught my attention. It just had me I was hyped up about it.
you and LeBron have that exchange. There are people out there that say maybe you shouldn't do that with one of the better players in the game. What were you thinking?
I don't care. He's old. You know what I mean? I was waiting for that. I was expecting him to do that game 4, game 5. He wanted to say something when I got my 4th foul. He should have been saying that earlier on. But, you know, I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. I pride myself on, you know, what I do is defense and taking on any challenge that's on the board.
He said he old, man. He said my boy Bron is old. For NBA years, though, Bron been in the league 20. Since he was 18, he 38. He is getting up there in age. But one thing I want to say is, man, the man has been spending $2 million a year on his health. He might be able to play till he's 45, 47. The youth always want to discredit a person because of their age. They think that they're not capable of being great because of their age. Some people done took care of themselves differently. Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. And age is all of it's your perception. Some people appreciate people that's older than them, and they go and seek and reach out to get knowledge from older individuals. I'm one of those type of guys. And I just appreciate the older individuals. And to me, I feel like Bron gonna put up some numbers on Memphis tonight. But I feel like the Lakers gonna lose the series, though. That's what I feel like. But one thing I can say is I like the people that's competitive like that don't care, that's willing to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about their perception. I miss the Ron Artests, the Ben Wallaces, the Dennis Rodmans. I miss that. I don't care who you is. I'm coming to compete. You might be the greatest ever, but I'm the greatest tonight. I like that. I'm going to call up Jack Boy, man. I got to talk to Jack, man. He on 2 records on the album, too. He on 2 records on the album. Let me see what he talking about. Jack Boy, what's pop?
Yo.
What's popping, cuz?
What's happening?
I ain't need too much of your time, cuz. You know I'm recording the pod. I ain't need too much time. I just want to say thank you, fam. Thank you.
You already know.
Yeah. Thank you for your verses. Thank you for your time. Thank you for traveling and coming to see Cuz and handling the business on the album, man. You did a phenomenal job on your verses. And I'm just happy to have your presence on the album, cuz.
Man, I appreciate you, cuz. You know what I mean? It was a movie. Yeah. You know, like I said, it definitely was a movie, and we had a good ass time, man, and did what we were supposed to do. We handled business, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The vibe that was created in the studio actually elevated the album because we was having fun. We was all smiles. We had a little sippy sips in us. I had a gummy in me, and we had a ball, man.
And it was it, man. We went up, man. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a blessing for me to be on Blessons, man. I appreciate you for even allowing me to be on that thing, so.
Hey, man. So, the lessons is in the blessings. Give me, I know you got things you got going on, cuz, but give me something. Tell me a lesson. Or you don't have to be specific, but tell me a lesson in life that became a blessing. Then I'm going to play your verse at the end of that conversation.
A lesson that became a blessing in life for Jack, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the biggest lesson for me, man, was to always strive to go get it, man. And I feel like I was blessed at a young age to be raised by my pops and saw how hard he went with just going to get it, man. And I think, you know, that was a big lesson that's done turned into a blessing for me because, man, I've been grinding since a youngster, man. Mm-hmm. You know, and been chasing, having a great work ethic. You know what I mean, and just chasing, trying to chase down greatness. You know what I mean, and everything I do, man. And I think a lot of things in life I have done and put my all into it, man. Now I'm reaping these blessings. With this where I'm at today, man. Great family, beautiful kids, a great job, getting great money. So you know what I mean. Big blessings coming my way right now, man. And I'm gonna continue to go after them blessings too, man.
That's what I'm talking about, cuz.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Let me give you some hand claps one time. Let me get these claps. This time is meant to be pressed.
Yes, sir.
You know, some of the shows I just be pushing buttons. I be getting lost in the soy sauce, cuz. But I'm thankful for you, cuz. Which verse you want me to play? Cuz you gave me 2 verses on the album, Hot Summer or your verse off Brand New.
Give me Hot Summer, man. But you know, is it something else you got to tell the people, cuz?
Oh, you know I got to tell the people that July now. I don't know if cuz what time it's gonna happen, but before the year is up, y'all gonna get a project with me and Jack together, man.
Good God, that deserves some hand claps. You heard me. So,
me and Jack together, we're gonna get y'all a project. It's gonna be something fly than a frisbee.
Something remarkable.
Yeah,
remarkable. I guarantee you, boy.
We're gonna take our time and make sure that every word that's said was meant to be said. And y'all gonna enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna enjoy it, cuz.
Big facts. Can't wait to do it, man. This shit finna be litter than lit. You heard me?
A movie.
A movie, man. You heard? Yes, sir.
Hey, enjoy your day, cuz. You watching the fight tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
as soon as I shake up out this thing, man, I ain't gonna watch my boy Tank handle business. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna watch Tank handle business, and I just played a snippet of that Dylan boy talking about LeBron old. I want to see if LeBron gonna put up 50 tonight because of those statements.
He better go to work because they been doing that last game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LeBron had some shit to say, and then you know Dylan, he gonna talk his shit for sure.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
but yeah, man. But yeah, man, appreciate it again, cuz, man. I'm to be on the pod right now. Just bless the pod. It's been a minute. I can't wait till we can link back up and drop some shit too on that level. And look forward to this creation we got in the making right now, man. I know it's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm bringing it.
Crazy. Let's go, cuz.
Crazy.
Let's go, cuz.
Yeah.
I'm out. All right, cuz.
All right.
Yeah. So, hold up now. Let me turn them niggas off. I don't know who that is. Some little young punk. You know, my Apple Music be tripping. They be trying to make me listen to people I don't want to listen to. But this is probably the most high energy record on the album. It's called Hot Summer. It's something you're going to be listening to this summer. You're going to have to listen to it. And I'm going to play Jack Boy verse. I ain't even going to play my verse. It got a soul sample to it. A beat switch. The beat switch, it go from regular bounce to extremely bouncy. Let's get to it.
I don't listen to that cap, y'all ain't talking about nothing.
Let me skip my verse a little bit. Y'all need to hear that.
A player stay grinding. When you see me, rolling through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Rolling through the jasmine in my mind.
Yeah. Feeling live and well, but I had to make some changes though. Niggas used to cap and being real's the only thing I know. Forever talking money, listen up and you can get the dope. But I really doubt it, all that wine and shit has got to go. Me and Cole, we poppin', if you need us, we'll rock the show. Dressed in all this polo, you can see the drip from head to toe. 4 racks around my neck, try to snatch and you can catch the smoke. Snake said I need you on this track, but in a different mode. Every time we drop, we gaining traction, but we been the ghost. Put Knoxville on the map, but tell me something that I didn't know. To tell my fam I love them, it's the realest shit I ever spoke. And everything I write be the hardest verse I ever wrote.
I can't give y'all all of that, man. He said everything I write be the realest shit I ever wrote, cause he ain't never said no cap, nothing fake. Jack Boy coming with it, man, and this album that we working on, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be real crazy. I think we in our bag. We all the way in our bag. We done found our groove, and we done found the method to the madness that we want to convey and that we want to give to y'all, man, so y'all can enjoy the records. But Let me see what I got topic wise for topics of discussion. I want to read this thing on this platform that Morgan Freeman said about the term African American and the month that we celebrate, Black History Month. I'm just going to read this because it's something that's interesting to me. Play this Blessings in the background. Morgan Freeman opened up about his views on race in a recent interview with the Sunday Times Culture magazine. Two things I can say publicly that I do not like. Black History Month is an insult. You're going to regulate my history to a month. The actor discussed his dislike of Black History Month and tore into the term African American, calling them both an insult. He questioned what it really meant and said that people say Africa as if it's a country when it's actually a continent like Europe. Freeman's point is that people would not say Euro-American to describe their heritage. They would specify a country like Italian American. Freeman has previously explained that he opposes the celebration of Black History Month because Black history is American history. Stop talking about it. I am going to stop calling you a white man, and I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. An insult. Y'all know on my podcast every February for the last 3 years, I started this podcast in 2020 when we was locked down in COVID and everything. But I celebrate Black History Month, man. I celebrate being black. But am I black? When I break it down to the smallest molecules, am I black? No, that's a color. I'm not black. That's not who I am. African American. Am I African American? No, you're not neither. If I'm wrong in that aspect, talk to me. Is it an insult though? It's an insult to a person that is lacking knowledge of the truth. But it's not an insult to a person that is not, that doesn't know the truth. But you should always seek knowledge. You should always want to know the truth. I appreciate that because that's going to make people go research and try to find out the truth. Morgan Freeman, thank you for that statement, man. Because it's going to make me go research and become more knowledgeable about who I am. Y'all know when I went to DC for my birthday in January, I went to the museum, the African American Museum, and I learned a lot. I celebrated Black History Month again this year, and I'm going to continue to celebrate it. Even though Black history is American history, they don't want to include us in the things that they got going on. They don't want to consider us American. They consider themselves white when they're not even white. If we break it down, the Caucasians are I'm getting too far into it. The Caucasians are from the Caucasoid Mountains in Asia. They're just descendants of Asians. Let me stop though. Let me stop before I go over people's heads though. Let me stop that.
Mom, I just called to tell you
and
I love you. I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for you being.
This is just a conversation to make you go research and find out who you are and find out who you are as a person, man. Real talk. That's all this is, man. I'm waiting on my boy T Reezy though. We may be wrapping this up doing part 2 so I can converse with T Reezy. But before I wrap it up, I'm gonna play one of the records off the album that's like everybody's feeling. Everybody's telling me it's the dopest record off the album. And we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna do part 2 to the Blessings episode. So I can get my boy T Reezy on the phone, I can get Maya on the phone, and I can get my boy Federo from Atlanta on the phone. We might do 3 episodes, who knows? But I'm gonna release them all back to back. Let's get to it. This is something real off the album.
2 cups in your system. You bad and you know it. Don't be afraid to show it off. Got what you've been missing. This is something different. Something that'll make you fall in love.
Real is rare, man. She tired of all the cap, all the lies, the fabricated stories, man. She just wants something real. And you know, shawty, let's get to it. Chill. 2 cups and we playing spades. I'm the ace in the game and I'm here to stay. Valet park the coupe, you married to the truth. I was ballin' as a youth, now what you think I do? Change your life, none of ice, be Carolina blue. We ain't worried about the price, we stay making moves. I used to lose until I met you. Now I'm winning, got a higher view. Looking down on haters cause they don't have a clue. 2 cups in your system. You bad and you know it. Don't be afraid to show it all.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I'm getting ready to get off of this episode and record part 2. Call up a few of my partners so I can make sure that I'm on their schedule so we can do the podcast right. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace, love, plenty, abundance. Make sure you go get you some money, and I'm out. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.